A family of Sasquatch reported to be living under a bridge less than 10 miles from here. For 18 years, I've traveled the world on board a luxury cruise ship. I've gone to many exotic lands and have had many exciting experiences. But nothing can compare to the encounter I had deep in the forests of the California Sierra Nevada mountains when, while on a solo backpacking trip, I had a face-to-face encounter with a Sasquatch. I'm Darren Smith. Join me on my personal quest to solve this mystery. Hello and welcome to Squatchspot.com. I'm Darren Smith, and I know quite a few of you are curious about the analysis of the audio recordings that my niece and I picked up while investigating Road 426 in our last episode. Whoop! Whoop! The analysis of the audio has been conducted, and there seems to be a mix of opinion among the researchers as to what that sound actually was. There are some researchers that believe, yes indeed, it was a Sasquatch. However, there are other researchers that are leaning more towards coyote. Nevertheless, this area is of interest and we will continue our investigation. And let's not forget that the cameras are still in position monitoring that area, and we will be retrieving that footage in the near future. But now for the business at hand. To start, I hope you enjoyed the Cardigan Sasquatch sweater that I picked up from middleofbeyond.com. Wearing Sasquatch apparel is actually a great way to elicit sighting reports from the locals. Since I moved to the Yosemite foothills, I have received numerous sighting reports from individuals that struck up conversation with me after taking note of the Sasquatch apparel that I was wearing. A report that I received just days ago was actually a second-hand report. However, it was telling of a family of Sasquatch that was living underneath a bridge. At first, when I heard this report, I found it a little hard to believe, because although I have heard of Sasquatch taking refuge underneath bridges during inclement weather, I have never heard of them spending too much time in that one location. So for sure, this report needs to be investigated. Well, it's a beautiful day in the foothills, and we are heading out into the field. But before we do, I'm going to stop off at one of my favorite coffee roasting houses for a nice cup of coffee. The Mariposa Coffee Company has been roasting coffee beans since 1991, and they have a really good cup of coffee. So if you're ever heading down Highway 49 between Mariposa and Oakhurst, be sure to stop by and pay them a visit. It's a family-owned business, and they're about the nicest folk you'll ever meet. We're on the end of McKinney Road, which runs parallel to Highway 49, and we're trying to gain access to the Chowchilla River, where the locals are saying there's a family of Sasquatch living underneath a bridge. When I first heard this report, I was a little skeptical. However, having done aerial reconnaissance using Google Earth, I discovered that this location is of strategic significance. The Chowchilla River flows from the western side of the Sierra Nevada range to the San Joaquin Valley. What makes this particular location strategic is the fact that it is within a very deep gorge and is under dense cover. Sasquatch are reported to frequently travel along waterways as they move from higher elevations to the valleys below, and the Chowchilla River is the perfect thoroughfare through this area. And what I find very intriguing is the fact that I received a second-hand report several years ago about a hunter who encountered a Sasquatch while hunting just down the ridge from here. I first attempted to get to the bridge from just off the main highway. However, the terrain was either too steep or I encountered no trespassing signs. Clearly, this bridge is inaccessible from the highway, short of rappelling off the bridge itself. So I attempted to find another access point to the river. And once again, we run into another roadblock. This time, barbed wire fences. We've been driving around for quite some time now, and we're trying to find a way to access the Chowchilla River. However, so far we've been unsuccessful. After driving around for quite some time, trying to gain access to the Chowchilla River, I finally stopped off at the little town of Bootjack to talk to the locals. And the word on the street is that the Chowchilla River is inaccessible, unless you know somebody who lives along its banks. But my time here at Bootjack wasn't a complete loss. I did pick up some Chester's fried chicken, and I was also tipped off to an area of interest further north from here. Unfortunately, our journey must come to an end. We have made several attempts to gain access to this bridge using several different vantage points, and unfortunately, we've been unsuccessful at each attempt. Either the terrain was just intraversable, or local laws were prohibiting us from venturing into the area. We will, however, be continuing our efforts, and we will be definitely keeping this area under investigation. Oh! Oi! Our quest is just beginning, so be sure to subscribe to this channel so you will be updated on future videos. In the weeks to come, we will be heading into the mountains to conduct field research. We'll be doing follow-up investigations on recent sightings, and we'll be meeting some special guests and having some fun along the way. Be sure to visit Squatchspot.com, the .com spot for all things Squatch.